welcome to another wild show of wrestling. Jim Davies here with Bulldog Bob Brown. Ed Whalen, our usual host, is off on assignment. Bulldog, some great matches on tonight's card. Six-man tag team action. It's Morocco and the British Bulldogs against the Cuban Commandos and Muck and Sing.
Well, what can I tell you that you already said? It's probably going to be one of the greatest matches, that Canada's ever seen. I'm actually waiting to see Morocco and the Bulldogs tag up against the Commandos and Big Muck and Sing. Everybody's got something to say about this match. Hey, they've lost their titles. It's going to be a barn burner.
Morocco a champ, and of course the Bulldogs champs. It'll be a dandy, and we've got other great bouts on the card. We'll be right back right after this. Okay, we are just underway with our opening bout on tonight's card, and it features the big man from Billings, 310-pound Vokan Singh, against a much smaller man, but arguably one of the best wrestlers in the business, 218-pounder from Edmonton, Chris Benoit. And you gotta like this Benoit.
Well, how could you possibly sit here and say, Jim, that he's the best professional wrestling in the business? Because I tell you what, he's 218 pounds. He's got a long way to go. And believe me, after this match here tonight, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, he's given away about probably 150 pounds in this match right here. And I think Chris Benoit he chews more than he can bargain for.
Well, we shall see what we shall see. And Bob Brown's chair just exploded on him. It broke. And I think that what that is some sort of divine retribution for the, questionable judgment that he used in describing Chris Benoit. Bulldog Bob Brown now picking up another chair. Bulldog, I know that was some sort of divine intervention, and it was punishing you for saying those nasty things about Chris Benoit.
It probably was put there by Ed Whalen, Of course, we got into our differences last week, and though Ed's not here, Ed, his version of professional wrestling is a little bit different than me. But when we got it all done, I kind of straightened his act up a little bit.
Well, I beg to differ. I was hoping that perhaps he would teach you a thing or two, Bulldog, but in the ring, meanwhile, it looks like Vokan Singh is using his almost 100-pound weight advantage to the very best of his abilities, and he is right now dominating the bout. The referee is Wayne Hart. This bout is slated for 15 minutes, and we are just nicely underway. The referee, of course, the referee of the year in the territory, Wayne Hart. He is a good one.
Wayne, I tell you, I admire him. He's got a hard job, and any referee's got a hard job. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head. That's what the wrestling fans think. But, talking about the card today, you're going to have big highlights of the match between Morocco and Macca, the night the title changed hands. And I'm sure all the wrestling fans will certainly be happy to hear about that.
Well, they will be happy. I didn't think you'd be very happy, though. You're a Muck and Sing fan, and Morocco now, the magnificent one, has that North American heavyweight title. Got to make you feel bad.
Well, I just voiced my opinion. I thought Morocco cheated a little bit. He used little corners to get out of. I thought Muck and Sing should be still a champion if there was a third man that was capable of counting Morocco out 2 or 3 times during that match.
Okay, we are watching two wrestlers who are looking for destiny. Here is Benoit. He's coming to the fore. There's the turnaround, though, and Benoit. Oh, look at this move by Benoit. He tried for that maneuver to get Vokan Singh into a pin, but it didn't quite work out.
You see, Benoit just went at it too quick. He tried something, but it backfired. And, of course, Mr. Singh was just a little bit much smarter than Benoit, and he kicked out of it. But it was a good move on Benoit's part.
Indeed it was, and as I say, both men have interesting destinies in front of them. Benoit, of course, is in hot pursuit of Johnny Smith's Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title, and Vokan Singh is in tough in next week's Super Battle Royal with $10,000 to the winner. You got to know Vokan Singh, the size of that man. He's got to be one of the big favorites in that Battle Royal.
I kind of hoping to see these big battle royals. You know, there's a lot of money. And I'll tell you, nobody can tell you about battle royals. Nobody can tell you better than I can, because I've been in many throughout my great wrestling career. And all I can tell you, it's a very dangerous man, and a lot of people will get hurt.
Indubitably. And right now, as I said, it is Volkan Singh taking control. He is asking referee Wayne Hart to inquire as to whether Benoit wants to submit, but of course Benoit will not submit, and Volkan Singh mouthing off at the crowd saying, "What do you think of your hero now?" And he points to Benoit. That's a lot of arrogance.
You know, I like what he's doing, you know. He's just playing and he's toying with this kid. I think that Singh could put him away anytime he really wanted to.
Well, once again, we beg to differ. But it is Volkan Singh in control as we pass the 5-minute mark. Our timekeeper, Tommy Carr, lets us know we're a third of the way towards that. Oh, look at that. But Benoit up right away. Oh, Benoit surprises Volkan Singh, and there's that big flying drop kick. And he shook Volkan Singh up, Bulldog.
Well, that was a great drop kick. That's one good thing I could say about the young kid. He does throw a great drop kick, and he's really taking it to the big guy now. But I tell you, I'm just laughing it off, because I think Singh is going to come on strong and win this match and show Mr. Benoit that he's not capable of having a championship match.
Well, this is a classic battle of size against speed. The size of 310-pound Volkan Singh and the speed of Chris Benoit. Benoit, of course, one of the best technical wrestlers in the entire pro wrestling business. But look at that big knee from Volkan Singh.
Yeah, he gave him a good solid knee coming off the ropes, and right in the midsection, right where you're supposed to put it. He has knocked the wind out of Chris Benoit, and now he's playing games with him. Get up, punk, get up. That's what he's saying.
He is saying that. He might be sorry if Benoit does clear out the cobwebs and does get up. Benoit, very game competitor. Oh, he pounds his head down onto the canvas, and it looks like a chokehold is happening. The referee doing his best to try and see what's going on here, and he determined it was a choke.
What a great smelling cigar at ringside with the manager here. You know, he's given all the pointers to Mucka Singh. Every time he's tapping that mat, he's sending a signal to Mr. Singh.
All right, we are watching Chris Benoit, the 218-pounder out of Edmonton, against the big man, outweighing him by almost 100 pounds, 310-pound Volkan Singh out of Billings, Montana. We are approaching the 10-minute mark. This bout slated for 15. The referee is Wayne Hart, and I would say Volkan Singh has dominated most of the action.
Well, I thought the referee could have counted 3 there. He could have been a little biased. I really don't know, but I tell you, Singh has done everything possibly, and this kid has got to be out of it soon. Now, if he comes out of this, I might reconsider him for a chance at the title.
Well, that's very, very sporting of you. Benoit, of course, wants that Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title currently held by Johnny Smith, but he's getting a rough ride right now in our opener against Volkan Singh, the big man from Billings. Look at that brute strength. Picks up Benoit, fires him down onto the canvas, and the man at ringside who manages most of Karachi Vice, the Weasel, Abu Weasel, is loving it.
Oh, he's a great manager. You know, I talked to him earlier before the show. I'll tell you, he had a lot of good things to say about me and not too good of things to say about you and Ed Whalen. So I really know now who he really wants to talk to.
The man is no judge of character. And he was giving a little message there to Volkan Singh, was the Weasel. And Chris Benoit in all kinds of trouble. He hasn't had much of a chance to really unleash the speed and technical ability that he can show in that ring.
You know, Singh made a couple of bad mistakes during this match. He's walking away from his opponent and talking to the audience. Now, that could cost him dearly. Now, something should happen during the match. You see, There was a miss right now. I thought Singh could have put him away 5 minutes ago, but he walked away, talked to his manager, talked to the crowd, and he might pay the price for it.
Well, that's a case of Boken Singh's ego getting in the way, and right now, he looks like he wants to call a timeout. Benoit, of course, has none of that. Fires Boken Singh into the corner. Look at this. Whoa! The big man goes for a ride.
Tremendous. Benoit's coming on strong now. And when you look at it, this guy, 280 pounds, hey, you got to look towards the Battle Royal. There's a lot of big heavyweights in that one, too. But right now, Benoit's taking it right to him.
Hey, referee! Referee!
Benoit was trying to tie him up in the ropes. Oh, we have just passed the 10-minute mark. This bout is slated for 15. Our timekeeper, Tommy Carr, lets us know only 5 minutes left. Look, a small package, and it was almost a pin.
Well, it really surprises me why Singh, as big as he is letting this, I would say, a young punk just mishandle him.
Ooh, he didn't let him mishandle him there. Boken Singh with that big knee into the midsection of Chris Benoit. There's a turnaround, and it's Singh into the corner, over the top. And Benoit looks like he wants to take charge.
Well, here he is. He's, my goodness, picked up 280 pounds.
310, 310.
Oh, excuse me. Here we go again, right to the top rope. We'll see what he's going to do now. Beautiful splash. Oh, I can't believe it.
It's all over. We're here with the famous Stu Hart, the promoter of the wrestling in this territory. And Stu, on Promoter's Corner, I want to ask you about those big battle royals coming up. $10,000 to the winner. Those are incredible bouts.
Yeah, there should be a lot of excitement, and each wrestler's got to put a fund into this thing, and we supply the rest of it, and there's going to be a lot of accounts settled in that.
I'm sure there will be, and accounts will be settled in Lethbridge next Thursday when the Bulldogs meet in a cage, a 15-foot steel cage against the Cuban Commandos.
Yes, that's going to be a tough match, and I think we'll separate the men from the boys in that match for sure.
It will be a dandy. And, Stu, we've got some other great bouts just coming up on our card. We'll be right back with those right after this. 290-pound strangler Steve DeSalvo, the big man from Los Angeles, against the seasoned vet Goldie Rogers, 223 out of Hollywood. The referee, Jurgen Herman. We're slated for one fall, 20 minutes. The match has yet to really get underway, although the bell has rung. You gotta favor DeSalvo.
Well, I don't know why you should say that you got to favor DeSalvo. Listen, he's in there with a crafty veteran. And listen, Goldie Rogers has won big matches all through his wrestling career. So I wouldn't think that Goldie Rogers is a pushover for nobody, especially Steve DeSalvo.
Well, I don't know about that. He's making that big production that he always makes, taking off that unbelievably loud jacket, and then he'll doff the sunglasses. But I can tell you, if he takes very much longer, DeSalvo is going to be all over him like ugly on an ape.
He wants DeSalvo to make his mistake now. Goldie Rogers is not a dumb person. He's a fine, outstanding athlete. And I'll tell you, I think DeSalvo's in for a big surprise.
Well, you may be just about alone, although there are several members here of the Goldie Rogers fan club. DeSalvo looks like he's impatient. There goes the sunglasses.
What did I tell you? And DeSalvo made a mistake. He turned his back on Goldie. As a veteran that he is, hey, he took advantage of it.
Well, he's a bit of a sneak. He ambushed DeSalvo from behind, and he's going after those eyes. DeSalvo, of course, wearing that mask because he had some strange toxic substance thrown in his face some time ago by Karachi Vice, and right away it's Rogers going after those eyes.
Well, I just think that he's a wanted criminal. I think he's wanted by the Justice Department because I don't think he has to wear that mask. There's something he's hiding, and we really don't know what it's all about. Sure, he may got hurt, but hey, listen, if you're tough, you can wrestle without the mask.
Well, personally, I don't know why he is continuing to wear that mask, and I will ask him about that. following this bout, but look at Rogers. This has got to be a surprise to almost everybody. Goldie Rogers, after that ambush, has totally dominated. DeSalvo hasn't had one moment to get untracked.
Well, I told you in the past, I told you last week, like I told Ed Whalen, hey, you can't take Goldie lightly. When you take him lightly, that's the mistake of your lifetime. And now he's really putting a number on DeSalvo. What an upset victory if Goldie can come through.
DeSalvo turns him around off the ropes, and look at that. Rogers lands with a splat. Felt like he fell off a building. Whammo! That should do it.
Illegal hair pulling and give him a DDT, but the referee didn't see it.
DeSalvo now talking to the crowd. They're eager to see what he's going to do. Oh, he hangs him up to dry, fires him down onto the canvas. DeSalvo just wants to punish Goldie Rogers.
2 violations in less than 30 seconds, and the referee never did nothing.
DeSalvo picks up his man, throws him into the ropes, and it now looks like DeSalvo is toying with Goldie Rogers.
Well, he's got Goldie Rogers where he wants him right now with the advantage of the referee. I think the referee should have thrown a couple yellow cards to DeSalvo. When he gave him the DDT a little earlier in the match, he used the hair to do it.
There's that big clothesline from those massive arms of Strangler Steve DeSalvo. Oh, look at that elbow. I'll tell you, Goldie Rogers was looking at that elbow.
Well, I think it's just about over now. I think I've got to turn my attitude towards DeSalvo because he's really taking it to Goldie Rogers more than I thought he would.
DeSalvo, 290 pounds worth of muscle, and he is manhandling Goldie Rogers in the corner, giving him elbows and knees. And Rogers looks like he's taken up residency on Strange Street. Power slam, 1, 2, 3. What about that, Bulldog?
Oh, I can tell you, it's a very decisive win for Steve DeSalvo. I wonder how he's going to do with those big battle royals coming up.
Strangler Steve DeSalvo, I have another one of those strange messages that seem to arrive for you on a daily basis. It says, the day of resurrection is near, the rising of the beast is imminent, the dark side will be the beasts for all those who believe Luke will be the savior. What is this all about?
Must be in the stars, I have no idea. Must be one of my admirable fans that love me. I have no idea what it is.
Nor do I, and I gotta ask you, you're wearing that mask still. Now I see you in dark glasses. When will you be wrestling without the mask?
See, I just went down to UCLA this week, medical school, and the best optometrists we're talking about, they looked at my eyes and they said, Strangler, the eyes are going to be better. But they said there might be a change. I don't know what the change is going to be, though. They're not quite sure. They've never quite seen this. That's all I can say is I feel like a metamorphosis. Something's going on inside of me. I'm not quite sure what it is. Mr. Davies, maybe I can, when I pinpoint it, you'll be the first to know. I'm not quite sure. It's like a feeling of something coming up inside me. Something that wants to express itself more.
Well,
I'm
it's
not quite
strange.
sure what it is. I might have to, if Aristotle was alive now, I would have to ask him. Because only those in the past, I mean, I just don't understand what quite it is, but it's something that's going to be for the better.
We'll find out. Strangler Steve DeSalvo. Well, earlier this week, we had a new crowning of a new heavyweight champ. North American heavyweight champ is no longer Muckin Singh. It's Don Morocco. What do you think about that? this should be a scientific bout. We are looking at two men who both wrestle on the clean side of the street. I'm talking about Leo Burke, the master of the sleeper, 242 pounds out of Moncton. And he's going up against a bigger man, 270-pounder, Steve Blackman out of Philadelphia. Blackman, of course, known for his skills in the martial arts. The bout is slated for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. And we have just got things nicely underway. The referee, Jürgen Hermann. Tough to pick a favorite in this bout, Bulldog.
Well, I'll tell you, the 270 pounds is not going to do anything to this match because Blackman is wrestling a veteran, Leo Burke, and nobody knows Leo Burke better than I do. I've had many, many wars with him, and he's truly one of the best. So Blackman will have to be at his very, very best if he's going to defeat Leo Burke in this ring today.
Well, Steve Blackman has been steadily improving his wrestling skills. When he started out in the wrestling wars, he was known primarily as a man who was good at kickboxing, a man who is very adept at karate and the martial arts, but now he has learned a lot of professional wrestling techniques, and you will see him demonstrate those in the ring. I would say that in no way is he an underdog to Leo Burke except in that experience factor.
Well, he's not. I would say he's an underdog. Listen, they're both great athletes, but no, I had known Leo Burke as well as I do. I just know that this is an important match for Leo Burke. He needs this match desperately, and he needs to defeat Blackman, but it won't be easy. Like you say, he brought martial arts to Western Canada. But I'll tell you, martial arts will have nothing to do with the outcome of this match. Blackman, to defeat Leo Burke, has to give it 125%. And if he doesn't give that, he's not going to win this match. And Leo, I'll tell you, Leo will put him through a great training session in the next few minutes.
Well, both of these men are very scientific wrestlers, and it's interesting, some of the crowd getting a little uneasy, but that's because they are seeing two men who practice the scientific techniques of wrestling rather than some of that rock'em sock'em style that they might prefer, but this is about as good as it gets. These are two very fine athletes, as you mentioned, Bulldog, and I think that referee Jürgen Hermann must be delighted that he's not going to have a lot of trouble in there during this bout.
Well, I would bet on it because I tell you the truth, a lot of people don't understand a match like this. This is what they call a scientific match, two clean wrestlers, and a lot of people don't like it. They like them to rough it up and stuff like that. But Leo Burke will have to be, you know, as a veteran he is, he's going to take it right to Blackman. He's going to find out early in the match what he can do to him, what can he do to him, and throughout the match you'll see Leo Burke probably 75% in great holds like he is now. He'll soften Blackman up, but then again, Blackman can do the same to him.
Right now it's Burke working over the leg of Steve Blackman. In fact, that hold looked significant enough to prompt the referee, Jürgen Hermann, to ask if he'd submit.
Reminds me of a lot of Dory Funk Jr. You know Dory Funk Jr. That's one of his famous holds he made famous in professional wrestling. And Leo Burke, although he's a master sleeper, he's a master of a lot of things.
You're right. He is a seasoned veteran with a large repertoire. You could call him the man of 1,000 holds, and you would not be far off. Right now, though, it is anybody's match. Off the ropes goes Blackman. There's the sleeper.
Oh, yes. Could be all over right now.
It could be all over. Oh, Blackman, a good move to get out of that sleeper. He forced Burke to go flying right through the second and third ropes, and Burke landed with a crash on that concrete outside the ring.
Like you said, concrete, and it's hard. And Leo Burke took a bad fall through there, and he's kind of shaken up. But a veteran as Leo Burke is, he'll come back.
You are undoubtedly right in that circumstance. Burke is back in the ring, and he has shaken off the blow that he took to the concrete. Blackman trying to continue to assert himself in the ring, and now he knows he's got to avoid that sleeper. Look at the power of the big man. Oh, ho! Ho!
You know, I was just going to say that he may have embarrassed Leo Burke earlier in the match, but I'm going to tell you, you don't embarrass Leo Burke and get away with it. Leo Burke came right back, did the same thing to him.
Exactly. Leo Burke doesn't get mad, he gets even. And after he took that big spill onto the concrete, he forced Blackman to do exactly the same thing. Blackman thought he was going to be making contact with Burke, knocking him down onto the canvas. Instead, he hit nothing but air and then concrete. Look at Burke. He's obviously a little cheesed off.
And a little worried, too. I think that, you know, that he thought he was going to have a real easy time with Blackman. Leo Burke better get that out of his mind because this match is far from being over. And he better take all he can right to Blackman and get this match over with. Otherwise, he'll come up the loser.
Leo Burke is coming on in a big way. There's that big knee to the head of Steve Blackman. And the boot to the side of the head. It's a little more rough and tumble than I'm used to seeing Leo Burke.
Yeah, let's get away from the match for 1 minute, gentlemen. Ed's not here, so we can all talk about it. What do you think of those big battle royals coming up? Are you waiting for them? I am.
I think they're going to be fantastic. I think they are going to be fantastic, and I know that you've suffered through many a battle royal during your wrestling career. We'll get into that just a little later. I want to concentrate on how Burke is being able to handle a bigger man by the name of Steve Blackman. Look at this neck breaker.
Tremendous. I tell you, he's just a tremendous. You know, I was talking to Maka Singh earlier.
And what did he have to tell you? What did he have to tell you? He did tell you something. I'll find out what he told you in about a minute or so, because I know it's going to be pretty exciting. Right now, it's Blackman taking charge, and it looks like Burke just doesn't want any of it. Leo Burke, mind you, it didn't take long before he got back in control. Oh, that big karate kick, and he fires Burke down to the canvas.
My, what a tremendous karate kick to the stomach, and he's put Leo Burke down in the mat. I'll tell you, Leo Burke could be in big trouble here.
We are watching a good, clean, scientific bout. It features Leo Burke, the 242-pounder from Moncton, New Brunswick, and he's going in there against the martial arts man, Steve Blackman, 270 pounds from Philadelphia. It has been pretty much an even Steven bout all the way. We are approaching the 10-minute mark, and you have been nagging me. You have been talking about it. You said you had been talking to Mukkan Singh about battle royals. Oh, look at that, look at that. The winner, Leo Burke. That's amazing. Now, just before we get into that, you were talking to Mukkan Singh.
Oh, yeah, he had a lot of good things. Let's go to it. Let's hear Mukkan Singh talking about the big battle royal.
It's come again, Calgary. It's time. Right here in Calgary, the hottest thing ever to hit Calgary. The big 16-man, $10,000 battle royal. The people in Calgary, they wait for it. They know I was a winner last year. I took the money. I rushed off. I stuck it in the bank. And you know what, Calgary? I plan on doing the same thing this year, so get ready.
Congratulations are in order. The new North American heavyweight wrestling title. I witnessed the match. I thought it could have went either way. What's your...
You're exactly true. All your years of experience, your knowledge as a professional wrestler, it could have gone either way. Mukkan Singh is a heck of a wrestler. He was a heck of a champion, but I am now the North American title holder. I am now embarking on a tour all over the United States, all over Canada, which also includes Singapore, Malaysia, and New Zealand, taking the North American title on the road. If Mukkan Singh feels he was slighted in any way or manner, he is welcome to another opportunity at the title.
A lot of people are waiting for this upcoming match with Mukka Commandos against the Dogs in Morocco. Give us a little update on this match. What do you think is going to happen in this big one?
Anything can happen in a match like this. You yourself, you know all the years you've been involved with professional wrestling. When you have three men, the Cuban Commandos, and Mock and Singh, who have just recently lost tag team title belts or North American title belt, and you have the 3 winners of the title belts. Naturally, there's a hard feelings there. We're out there to protect our reputations. The Bulldogs and myself aren't out there to prove, are out there rather to prove there was no fluke. And I'm sure Mock and Singh and the Commandos are out there to prove that on the other hand.
Let me remind you one thing, Mr. Morocco. Now you become a marked man. You're the title holder. Now you got guys like Larry the Shaft Cameron, a big black athlete from the United States of America. You got the Salvo. And of course, you got to think about the return match with Mukka Singh.
I have always been a marked man. Being a marked man is nothing new to me. That's why I came after this belt. That's why I won this belt. I want to be in the spotlight. I enjoy the spotlight. Shaft Cameron, Mock-In Singh, you're welcome to the title. Steve DeSalvo, as big and strong as he is, he's welcome to the British Bulldogs. Anybody who wants to put their name on the contract is welcome to it.
Thank you.
Here comes a spectacular wrestler. He made his debut just 1 week ago and dispatched his opponent in less than 2 minutes. Larry Shaft Cameron. He's a former professional football star, both in Canada and south of the border. You can see the incredible muscular development. Larry Shaft Cameron, fast, making a name for himself in the territory. Larry Cameron weighs in at 265 from Chicago, Illinois, and he's going against J.T. Law from Austin, Texas. J.T. Law weighing in at 230. The referee is Wayne Hart. And up in the ring, Bulldog Brown is currently making the introductions, but the man to watch in the ring is Larry Shaft Cameron. He looks mean, he looks ready, and he is already a fan favorite. He has the ability to whip the crowd into a frenzy. We are going to see some really unbelievable action. If last week's debut in the territory is any indication, Larry Shaft Cameron at that time looked absolutely unbeatable. Both men now meeting in the center of the ring, J.T. Law and Larry Shaft Cameron. Bulldog, that Shaft looks like an impressive fellow.
J.T. Law, I bet he thinks he'd be happy to be back in Texas after he meets this Larry the Shaft Cameron. I'm going to tell you, I've watched him for the last 2 weeks, and with his impressive win last week, I can tell you, all I can see is a lot of people are in big trouble when they're going to meet this guy. I'm talking about your champions.
You are right. Look at him throw Tex right off that top rope. And it took absolutely no time at all for him to assert himself. There's that big elbow. Shaft giving his opponent the shaft.
He's my kind of a man. I'd like to see him matched up against Don the Rock Morocco. And I'll tell you what, I don't think Morocco will be too cocky if he ever met him.
I don't think anybody would be cocky if he met him. You do not want to meet this man in a wrestling ring. You don't want to meet him in a dark alley. There's a lot of places you don't want to meet him. And if you do meet him, you want to say, "Hi, Mr. Cameron. Please, don't hurt me."
You know, he's tough. Listen, let's not take anything away from the guy. The guy comes from Chicago. He was brought up in a bad neighborhood. And right now, he's taking it out on everybody that gets in his way right here in Western Canada. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of wrestlers are in a lot of trouble right here.
They are. Larry Shaft Cameron, as you say, only his second week in the territory already. He has the other wrestlers looking over their shoulder.
And Jim, what's going to happen when you see one of these guys like Larry the Shaft Cameron in those battle royals with all those big super heavyweights? My. It'll be a barn burner.
Larry Cameron says he is afraid of no man. And right now, J.T. Law, Tex Law, as he calls himself, is wishing He had never signed the contract that put him in the ring with Shaft Cameron. Wow! Big leg drop. Could be all over 1, 2, and he's toying with him. He is toying with him.
My kind of a man. Hey, he wants to give a little bit more punishment. He wants the whole world to know how tough he is. And I'll tell you, Law, I think will be happy to get back to Texas after this match.
Oh! Law makes that last-minute escape, and Cameron went full force into that turnbuckle. Cameron now shaken up. And it's JT Law taking the initiative. I think when he had Shaft in trouble, he might have wanted to exit stage right, but instead, the Cowboy is continuing on, and he's actually dishing out some punishment to Cameron. Not for long. Look at that clothesline.
Tremendous clothesline by the big guy from Chicago, and I'll tell you what, I just think now that he's going to put Law away. It's just a matter of time, and I think here it comes right now.
Pile driver coming up. Oh, face first. That'll be it. 1, 2, 3. Larry Shaft Cameron counts it off with the referee. It is all over. Another impressive victory for Larry Shaft Cameron.
Well, that's 2 in a row, and I'll tell you what, there's bigger things coming up for him.
No doubt about it. Larry Shaft Cameron, 2 bouts, 2 decisive victories. You must have something in mind.
You darn tootin' I got something in mind. You know, this is really degrading. I've been here the last 2 weeks, and what are they giving me? A couple bombs. You know, why can't I get me a Chris Benoit, a Steve DeSalvo, or either Leon Burke, or even know some of those little pretty little bulldogs? I'm the world's greatest athlete, and I just demand stiffer competition.
Well, you've been looking good. Shaft Cameron, he wants more competition now. Let's go up into the ring where Bulldog Brown is talking with Muckin Singh.
Muckin Singh, I hate to stand out here and talk to you about being the ex-heavyweight wrestling champion. I was there when it happened. I know the commotion that took place after the match. You kicked the dressing room doors down. You threw everybody out of the dressing room. You wanted to be by yourself. Where do you go from here?
Well, you know something, Bob Brown, you're right. I wanted to be by myself, but now I don't want to be by myself. There's one more person I want to be with. I want to be with you, Morocco, the Big Rock. I want to be with you head on head. I don't care anywhere in North America, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Alberta, British Columbia, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan. I don't care where it happens. I'm checking out the calendar. I'm checking everything out with the IWA presidents. And I'll tell you what, Morocco, sooner or later, all the roads have got to come together. And there it'll be, me and you looking at each other one-on-one, me thinking about my belt being gone, and you taking away the pride of my life, the North American Championship belt. Morocco, sooner or later, it's got to happen. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a warning. You get to every arena you wrestle in real early. You park your car way out in the back. You watch the dressing room door, and if you see me walk in, you just get in your car and you leave, because you're in for a battle. You may have won one battle, I may win one battle, but now it's time for the war. And there's a war, there's only one final winner, and that'll be me.
In closing, Mucka, down deep, as being in professional wrestling as many years as I have, I doubt if you're ever going to see that return match, because I tell you, I thought that you had his number. If the referee would have been in the right position to count the guy down, you would have been still champion. Now, how long do you think that you have to wait till you get this rematch?
I don't think I should wait a day, a minute. I don't think I should wait at all. I wish it was happening right now. I wish he was calling this ring right now with me, because I'm boiling and I'm ready for you, Morocco. And like I said, I don't care where it happens, coast to coast, I'll be looking for you. You just make sure you got one eye looking behind you, looking for me.
Thanks, champ. We'll be right back after this important message.
Well, this should be a barn burner. We've got the British bruiser, Johnny Smith, weighing in at 230 from Manchester, England, up against Biff Wellington, 218, Lloydminster, Alberta. Johnny Smith, 5 pounds over that Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title limit. So he is not putting the title on the line. If he were, he might be a little bit more nervous in the service, going up against a good competitor, Biff Wellington. This bout is slated for one fall, 30 minutes. We are just underway. Timekeeper Tommy Carr ringing the bell. The referee, Jürgen Herman, and this promises to be a dandy, Bulldog.
Well, when you're looking at Johnny Smith, no wonder they call him the British Bruiser. You know, he's a little package of dynamite. Of course, you know dynamite comes in small packages. Along with his manager shaking hands now, wishing him good luck, this should be a great, great match.
It has all the earmarks. These two have had a rivalry for quite some time. Perhaps the only person to have a dislike that exceeds Biff Wellington for Johnny Smith would be Chris Benoit. Benoit, of course, wants that Commonwealth mid-heavyweight title. Biff Wellington wants it as well, the man who holds it, and he's currently over that mid-heavyweight limit, Johnny Smith. They're feeling each other out, and you can see no love lost here.
You know, I was over in Manchester a couple of years ago. I took in a big wrestling tournament, and that was the first time I met Johnny Smith. And do you know, and lo and behold, he won the whole tournament in one night. There was 16 matches, and Johnny Smith went on to win the last encounter, and it took him about 25 minutes, and do you know, they give him a standing ovation for 15 minutes. And a lot of people up here in Western Canada, or in Canada, hey, they really don't know what kind of a great athlete that this Johnny Smith is. There is no wonder that he is the Commonwealth champion. And I'll tell you, Biff Wellington, this should be a good match for him, because a win over Johnny Smith would certainly build him up on the ladder.
It would indeed, and I must remind you that one of the reasons why the fans might have given Johnny Smith a standing ovation back in those days in Manchester is because he used to be a good, clean, scientific wrestler, but unfortunately, he changed somewhere along the line. He was seduced by the money of Karachi Vice. Oh, big clothesline by Biff Wellington.
I can't overhear the great manager at ringside. A lot of people don't understand why the manager. The manager is an important part of Johnny Smith. Of course, you know, the manager's watching the match, and Johnny Smith can't see everything. So if there's anything that Johnny Smith may, hey, his manager will give him the signals, and this is why that this manager's got all the great ones in his stable. I tell you, I only wish that you and Ed Whalen would like him a little bit more than you guys do.
Well, Ed Whalen certainly doesn't like the Weasel. In fact, he's been looking through the yellow pages to try and find a Weasel exterminator. By the way, a little earlier on, you know that Bulldog Brown had a chat with Muckin Singh, asking him what he thought of the big upcoming Battle Royal. Well, I talked to the British Bulldogs, and here's what they had to say about the Battle Royal.
Yeah, next week the British Bulldogs are involved in one of the biggest matches in professional wrestling, an 18-man bunkers Battle Royal. And the British Bulldogs are going to be there, and all the stars of Stampede Wrestling are going to be there. Isn't that right, Dynamite?
That's right. Muckin Singh Commandos, you get ready. It's a dog-eat-dog world in that ring. When we win that ring, we're going there for one reason only. That's to go in there, win the money, and me, myself, David, we're going to split the money right down the middle and take it.
Yes, that's the British Bulldogs, and you can see there is no fear on their part when it comes to talking about the wildest of all matches, the big Battle Royal.
You know, the British Bulldogs and Big Don the Rock Morocco, they are marked people now. Now, you know, when they didn't have the belt, hey, they took every other match just, hey, here we come and here we win. But everybody, they're marked men now. And now, you know, the Cuban Commandos are after them. And, you know, Muckin Singh, I told you earlier, he tore the dressing room down that he was so mad and kicked 13 guys out of the dressing room that he was so mad after he lost his title. So now, these people are marked people. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't turn your backs, Morocco or the British Bulldogs.
Well, I think they're too smart to turn their backs. And in the ring right now, Biff Wellington with the upper hand, but he has to break that hold because Johnny Smith, the British Bruiser, had hold of the ropes. Referee Jürgen Herman, thus far, has not had to deal with anything in terms of foul play. It's been a relatively clean bout thus far.
You know, talking about Beef Wellington, you know, the first time that I saw him was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, way out there on the East Coast. He had hurt his shoulder, and he was away for 4 or 5 months. But lo and behold, when I come back here I see Beef Wellington, and he's probably in the best shape that I've ever saw him in. And I tell you what, Johnny Smith has got his hands full. There's no doubt about it.
Johnny Smith working on that arm of Biff Wellington. But look at Wellington with that nip up. He got thrown down, and I think that the British bruiser had a handful of the tights of Biff Wellington.
See, the bruiser, you know, Manchester, England, he's got nothing to lose. Hey, he's got the title. He knows that he's the champion. And lo and behold, he's going to go out here, and he might toy with this guy for 5 or 6 minutes to find out where is all his weaknesses. And this is what he is doing. But he better not play around too long with Biff Wellington, because Wellington will put one on him.
I do not think that Johnny Smith thinks he's toying with Biff Wellington. On the contrary, he has more than a handful. He tried to get a handful of hair. Biff Wellington with that short cropped hair. You may remember that he fought Smith in a hair match. The loser had to have his head shaved by the opponent. Wellington won that bout. It was a non-title affair. At the end of it, Wellington was ganged up on by Smith and some of his cronies, and as a result, Wellington had his head shaved. Currently, he has a little bit of his hair grown back, but he does not forget what Smith did to him with that electric shaver.
Oh, I think he looks great. I tell you, I think the haircut looks great. I like it. I tell you. And I like Johnny Smith. Johnny Smith is a great competitor, great athlete. And I tell you, you have to know this guy to appreciate him. You know, anytime you don't see Johnny Smith, he's in the gym doing 500-600 push-ups, doing squats, weightlifting. The guy's in tremendous shape. And a lot of people don't know what Johnny Smith does in his spare time. I can tell you, it's gymnasium.
Both these men work out a great deal, as you say. Pumping iron, working on their moves. Here's a move, a turnaround. Off the ropes. Oh, a big arm drag. And down goes Johnny Smith. Again, he tries to grab a handful of hair.
You know, Jim, as the match goes on, you know, and if this match goes on another 10 or 15 minutes, you know, Johnny Smith could be in trouble. I think that Johnny Smith has to get up and get out of this situation that he's in with this armhole and take it right to Biff Wellington, take him out of the complete lineup, and take him away from being a contender for his title. This he must do.
Well, neither wrestler has had an opportunity to really dominate in this bout thus far. Smith with a chin lock on Wellington, applying that pressure. Referee Jürgen Herman making very sure that that does not degenerate into a chokehold. You're looking at Biff Wellington, the 218-pounder out of Lloydminster, Alberta, against the British bruiser, Johnny Smith, 230 pounds from Manchester, England. And since he is 5 pounds over that mid-heavyweight limit, what would you suggest that Johnny Smith try to get back to his weight limit before somebody suggests he gets stripped of that title?
If Johnny Smith wanted to lose 5 pounds, he'll go out tonight and lose it. This is not a title match, so why would he have to go out and lose the 5 or 6 pounds that he's overweight? Johnny Smith will get down to the limit. They will not strip him of this title. And talking about titles, you know, this guy here, I just can't get over. Everything he does is so smooth. He takes his time and everything. He don't make any mistakes, and that's the signs of a good athlete. Just look what happened here.
We have just passed the 10-minute mark, and you saw the effect of that big atomic drop on Biff Wellington. Wellington very shaken up. Johnny Smith looks like he wants to move in for the kill. Oh, he brings Wellington's neck right down on that top rope. Wellington seeing stars, and he gets a yellow card for that. Referee gives a yellow card. That's the first warning in the card system against Biff Wellington for that maneuver.
Well, you know, Johnny Smith just came out of a difficult situation. He caught Biff Wellington coming off the ropes, which was a great move. And then he did another great move and caught him coming off the top rope. And the referee from Germany throws the yellow flag. I don't understand, and I think it's injustice once again. Mr. Herman's a great referee, or else he would be the third man in the ring. But I think he was a little fast on pulling out that yellow flag.
Well, Smith might earn himself another yellow card. He had his boot firmly entrenched in the neck area of Biff Wellington. And he's resorting to some of the tactics that he has learned from his cohorts in Karachi Vice. All right, we are back after a brief commercial message, and we are continuing to watch this great match between Wellington and Smith, and that was almost a 3 count. Wellington almost put Smith away, and he would have recorded a very significant upset had he held him down for all 3, just 2, unfortunately.
It only counts in horseshoes, Mr. Davis.
And bad breath and hand grenades.
All I can tell you is, I thought the referee was a little fast at counting 1, 2. He almost counted Johnny Smith out. That wouldn't have been a very fine thing for this great referee from Germany to do.
Wellington trying to make a good comeback. He's got Smith a little rattled. Oh, look at that clothesline by Johnny Smith. That was devastating.
Well, he's doing the best thing he knows how. He's taking it right to Wellington. I think this is it now. Uh-oh.
Good move by Wellington. He gets that foot up on the rope. That was a very opportune thing to do. He almost was counted out if he hadn't got that foot up on the ropes.
Smith now is kind of softening him up a little bit. I tell you, Wellington, this has been a great match. Let's not take anything away from either wrestler. As I tell you, here we go with the DDT. This could be it.
Wellington certainly surprised Smith with that maneuver. Smith holding his head. Referee Jürgen Hermann is counting both wrestlers. They're both down, but Smith is first to his feet. Shaking off those cobwebs. Tries to suplex, but no! Wellington turns him around with his own suplex. Both men shaken up again.
Well, this has been a very tough match, you know. I tell you now, it'll be a break now to see which one's going to get that 1, 2, 3. Either one of the wrestlers, they've tried everything and haven't come up with the 1, 2, 3. So I don't know what's next. But thinking what Johnny Smith is capable of doing, he'll come up with the big one.
Oh, ho! That was a big one, all right. A 3-point landing on his head and his 2 feet. Wow! Wellington exploding. There's that backbreaker onto the knee. 1, 2, just a 2 count. Smith still has enough left that he was able to throw Wellington off him. Off the ropes, the big clothesline by Wellington. Tries another time for the pin. 2, 2 3/4.
I'll tell you what, Wellington's making it look very easy. I tell you, Smith just barely, this is twice in this match where the referees almost counted 3, and I don't know, both wrestlers are tired. I can see it. But that's the signs of a great champion kicking out. This is the third time in this match he's kicked out at 2.5.
Off the ropes. He misses with the elbow. Wellington. Oh! Smith for a pin. 1, 2, 3. And Johnny Smith had his feet up on the ropes. He was using the ropes for leverage.
No. He wasn't using the ropes. He caught him with a backbreaker coming off the ropes. He fell near the ropes, and the ropes shook a little bit, and he got to 1, 2, 3. I thought it was a great match, and I thought it was well done by the British Bruiser himself.
Okay, now let's go into the ring, but, oh, look at this. Chris Benoit, he wants to protect Wellington. He chases Smith out of the ring.
He's got no business being in there. I tell you now, the referee should fine and suspend him for 2 months for sticking his nose where it don't belong.
No way. And since you're a Johnny Smith fan, we are now going to send you into the ring, Bulldog Bob Brown, to talk with Johnny Smith.
Johnny Smith, probably one of the greatest matches I saw in a long, long time. You took it right to him. My co-partner, Jim Davis, said you used the ropes, but you did. I
didn't, Mr. Brown, I didn't use any ropes. I don't need to use any ropes to beat Biff Wellington. I beat him right here in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and these ignorant morons don't like it. But that's the way it is. British Bruiser #1.
No, there's one question I'm going to ask you.
What's that, Mr. Brown?
Ed Whalen, Jim Davis, think that you are avoiding Chris Benoit for a championship match.
You don't believe that, do you?
I denied it completely. I think that you would tear him apart in less than 10 minutes.
That's exactly right, Mr. Brown. I don't care what Mr. Whalen says or Mr. Davis. You morons in TV land, you zoom in, get the wide-angle lens on, take a look at that. Take a look at this body. I'm the British Bruiser, the best thing to come out of England. I don't know if Chris Benoit deserves a title shot. I beat him for the belt. I beat him right here in Calgary. What makes him think he can step in my turf in this ring and beat me for this belt? What makes him think that?
I think you're a great one.
Davy Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid, best known as the British Bulldogs, and their partner, Don the Rock Morocco, 295 pounds of muscle out of Honolulu. This is going to be a ding-dong dandy.
Let me remind you one thing. Maka Singh and the Cuban Assassins has got a lot to prove. You know, they stole the Cuban Assassin and Jerry Morrow's belt. And of course, you know what Don Morocco did to Maka Singh. He stole his belt also. It wasn't even a victory. They stole the belts.
Did you see that? Morocco picks up 380-pound Maka Singh like he was a featherweight. When he slammed him down to the canvas, there was a look of shock, a look of surprise, a look of anguish in the face of Maka Singh. And he makes the tag, and in comes Comrade Jerry Morrow. This bout is slated for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. The referee, who's going to have a lot of work to do in there, is Wayne Hart. And right now, you are looking at Morocco versus Morrow.
Well, you know, I've been waiting for this match for the last 7 or 8 days. You know, everybody out there on television land, hey, when you see a six-man with the caliber of professional athletes that's in this ring right now, you wouldn't see it on any other wrestling card right across the world. And I mean the world. You're seeing 6 of the greatest wrestlers in the world right here on television.
And Morrow in all kinds of difficulty after that extended suplex by Davy Boy Smith. In comes the Cuban to a chorus of jungle grunts from the crowd, and now he's facing Davy Boy. Oh, you didn't expect a clean break, did you? But look at this, a turnaround off the ropes. Whoa-ho! The Cuban goes for a ride. There's a slam. Davy Boy picks him up again, another slam. And the Cuban makes the tag with Maka Singh, and nobody on that team seems eager to get in there against either of the British Bulldogs or Morocco.
I don't buy that for 1 minute, Jim. They're going to get in there. They're not scared of the British Bulldogs and Don the Morocco, and they got something that these guys want. They want their titles back. And Maka Singh will show these guys what professional wrestling is all about, and so will the Cuban Assassins before this match is over.
Here comes that Karachi Crunch. Oh, instead, it's that big clothesline by Davy Boy. Whoa.
Can you imagine all these 6 people in this big battle royals coming up? Ho, ho, ho. Well, I tell you, don't you mess it, you people. Get your tickets early.
Those battle royals will be spectacular, but 6-man tag team action is equally spectacular. And look at Muck and Singh getting worked over. Now it's the Morocco wailing away at the man whose title he took. North American belt now being worn by Morocco, and he is wearing it proudly.
He didn't take it, he stole it, Jeff, and you know that.
Six-man tag team action, and it has been totally dominated by the team of the British Bulldogs and Don the Rock Morocco. Cuban Assassin now in there against the Rock. I don't think that he likes to be in there. He's between a rock and a hard place, but look at this. A little teamwork by the Commandos. Oh, it backfires.
Oh, they just about came down on top of us, Jim. I tell you, they've had the upper hand in the first 5 or 6 minutes, but I think the Cuban Assassins and Muck and Singh are setting them up. They want to wear themselves out, and these guys will move right in and beat the British Bulldogs and Don the Rock Morocco.
Morocco trapped in the corner, and he is getting worked over by comrade Jerry Morrow. Morrow, with one of the hardest heads in all of pro wrestling, gives him that old Coco bonk, and now it's Muck and Singh in there. Muck and Singh against Morocco. You got to know there is no love lost here. Muck and Singh still upset at losing his title to The Rock.
You know, I was in the dressing room, and I told you earlier, you know, that he threw everybody out of the dressing room. He broke all the furniture out, and he ran into next door to try to get at Morocco, but Morocco already disappeared out the back door with the belt that he stole.
Well, he scarcely stole it, but here's Muck and Singh with a good comeback. Big leg drop across the throat area of Don the Rock Morocco. There's a pin, 2, just a 2 count, but very, very close.
And, you know, there he's wearing down Morocco now. You could tell the effects on Morocco's face and the look on Morocco's face that he's in a lot of pain. And I'll tell you, I think they got him where they really want him.
Morocco is shaken up, but not for long. In comes the Dynamite Kid with a big clothesline. The Cuban Assassin flying head over heels. Oh, but Cuban Assassin catches him with that big knee in the midsection. In comes comrade Jerry Morrow. Neckbreaker. Morrow showing all kinds of spark.
Oh, hey, the Cuban Assassins, they're mad. The minute he give Dynamite Kid the knee coming out the ropes, he tagged his partner right away. Now I wonder where all the flags are. Hey, they should suspend him, get him out of there.
Well, they are getting out of there, but they've diverted the referee's attention, and it means more of a working over for the Dynamite Kid. Off the ropes. Can he pull him over? No, he cannot. Oh, 380 pounds. 1, 2. It gets broken up by Davy Boy, that pin attempt by Muck and Singh.
He was beat until Davy Boy Smith came in and kicked Muck and Singh in the back of the head. They had the guys beat. But this is the same way it was in the championship match. They got away with everything, and the referee let the match get out of hand.
Look at that big splash. 1, 2. Just a 2 count. Dynamite Kid getting pounded around. Off the ropes, double clothesline. Here's a pin attempt.
He's down now for 5 or 6 count. The referee was tending to those other guys coming illegally into the ring.
The Cuban with a suplex. And off the top rope comes Morrow, but he misses. Dynamite Kid smartly gets out of the way. And there was no legal tag there, but in comes Muckin Singh. Muckin Singh receives a yellow card.
Why was the yellow flag given now? Now, I don't understand it.
There was no tag.
I saw the tag, Jim. What match are you watching?
Obviously a different match than you're watching, Bulldog. Muckin Singh has a hold of Dynamite Kid, and Dynamite Kid taking all kinds of punishment from Jerry Morrow. Dynamite Kid has been in that ring a long time. He needs to make a tag.
Just look at his face. He's in a lot of pain right now. And I tell you, the Cuban Assassin and Jerry Morrow's got the Dynamite Kid where they want him. And he's going to be sorry for stealing those belts.
Dynamite Kid trying to get over to the corner. He makes the tag, but the referee didn't see it, and you know what's going to happen. He's telling Morocco to get out. Off the top rope comes the Cuban Assassin, and Dynamite Kid continues to absorb all kinds of punishment.
Well, they completely made a tag now. See, the referee didn't see it, but they did make a tag, and I saw it with my own eyes.
Oh! Dynamite gets out of that abdominal stretch, but there's a tag, and in comes Morrow. He gets to Dynamite before he can get over and make that tag that he needs to make so badly. Off the ropes. Oh, down on the knee. 1, 2, just a 2 count.
God, it's been a tough match. Every time I look at these 6 great athletes, all I can see is, hey, mayhem breaking out at any moment. And if it don't finish up here, it's going to finish up in those big battle royals. Boy, can you imagine all these 6 people in the ring with one time with 10 other guys?
It'll be a sight to behold. I know you're looking forward to it, Bulldog, and right now it's Dynamite Kid looking forward to making a tag. He's been in that ring a long time. Off those ropes, underneath that clothesline, and he gives a lot of punishment tomorrow. Now he's got to roll over and make that tag. The fans screaming for him to make it. There it is. In comes Davey Boy Smith. Whoa, flying drop kick. Oh, and he hits both the Cuban Assassin and Muckin Singh. Off the ropes goes Morrow. There's the clothesline. Davey Boy Smith exploding.
You got to take your hats off to all 6 great athletes. Hey, this has been a fine match, and nobody has even come close to a pin. And so all I can tell you is, hey, it's going to be a good one, and it's far from being over.
There have been a lot of 2 counts in this bout. There's a small package. Again, just a 2 count. Davey Boy Smith trying to put away comrade Jerry Morrow. We're going to see a power slam. Here it comes, whammo. 1, 2. It got broken up. Now they're all in the ring.
Oh, this is what I told you. Mayhem is breaking loose. The referee lost control of the match. This is getting out of the hands. The fans are standing, and I'm excited. You're excited. Well, here we go.
Dynamite Kid was forced into Don the Morocco. Everybody's fighting everybody. The referee seems to have his eye on Davey Boy, and Jerry Morrow, he is watching these 2. I guess they are the legal 2 men in the ring. 1, 2, 3. It's all over.
I can't believe it that they got this great win over Jerry Morrow. I did believe, that his shoulder was up about that much, Jim, and he maybe had a hold of his pants. I don't know. That's what I saw from my distance.
All 6 men were fighting in the ring, but the pin that counts is Davey Boy's pin of comrade Jerry Morrow. The winners, the British Bulldogs, and Don the Rock Morocco.
I've just witnessed a great match. And all I can tell you is I thought the wrong man was in the ring when the pinfall occurred. But we'll let the Cuban Assassins talk about it. We'll let them explain what this loss does to their chances of getting a championship match.
All the time I came over here to 6-man tag 10, the referee had to get lost in the middle of the ring. But you know what we want? Something like a big battle royal, where everybody can be their own man.
You know something, Bob Brown? People are wondering. We jump in there, the Commandos and I, with the Bulldogs and Don Morocco. You surprised us tonight. You caught a fall. We're not going to say it was a straight fall. Now the people want to know what reason you have to come back now to go after these guys again. Well, I'll give you 10,000 good reasons. $10,000 that we want to put in our pocket. They may hold the upper hand right now, Bob Brown. They may have got the belt off the Commandos and myself. But I'll tell you what, like all good warriors, all good battlers, you need money to survive. We're going to take that 10 grand. We're going to sit back a little bit. We're going to reflect over the holidays, and then we're going to be back. They're going back after the tag team champion. I'm going back after my North American champion, which is rightfully ours. So I'll tell you what, we have 10,000 good reasons to be here next week, and we'll be here in that Battle Royal.
Thanks, chaps. Let's go to Jim Davis and the British Bulldogs.
The British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid, a very satisfying victory in that six-man tag.
It was just like we told all the people when we had the cage match, we would take those belts because it was the British Bulldogs kind of match. Then Mukum Singh comes, he interferes. So if he wants to interfere, that's fine. The British Bulldogs are welcome Mukum Singh in the ring anytime, any place, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Cuban Commandos, you're welcome anytime, any place, anywhere for another title shot. But next week, Mr. Jim Davis, we've got another big match, an 18-man battle royal, $10,000 for the winner. And me and the Dynamite Kid are going to be the first two to get all the Mukum Singh, pick him up and throw him over the ropes. Because in a battle royal, Jim, you got no friends, everybody's your enemy. But me and Dynamite have been friends for a long time, and we work together. We work for a team. The Cuban Commandos, they're doubled across each other at any time, at any given moment. But the British Bulldogs have always stuck together. We're going to get that $10,000, and we're going to get it, and we're going to have a big party, aren't we, Dynamite?
That's right. You know, Jim Davis, like Dave Boy said, we've been a team together now for 7, 8 years. We've been around the world 4 different times. Mukum Singh, Cuban Commandos. Don't think it's the first time we've seen people like you in the wrestling profession. We've seen people like you all over the world. Like I said, 4 different times over the world. Now, back in Stampede Wrestling, the biggest, toughest, ruggedest sport right now is Stampede Wrestling. From Winnipeg to Halifax, Nova Scotia. All you people out there can see us. I'll tell you right now, next week, 16-man Battle Royal. There's 2 men going to win it. And they're standing right in front of you right now, the British Bulldogs.
Thank you very much. They've made a threat, by the way. Mukum Singh, he said it'll be Karachi Vice walking out with that 10 grand. You obviously don't think much of that.
No, I don't think much of that, Jim Davis. And the last thing I'd like to say was I'd like to thank all the people for coming out and supporting the British Bulldogs and coming out and supporting Don Morocco. They inspired us to come back to Calgary, and we went in that cage, and they gave us such an ovation, and we didn't want to let the people down, and we didn't. And now we're the Intercontinental Tag Team Champions of the world, and we're going to stay in Calgary, and all the wrestling fans don't have to worry about the British Bulldogs leaving, going back to New York or Australia. The British Bulldogs are going to stay right here in Calgary, Edmonton, all over the place. We're not moving. We're staying for Stampede Wrestling. That's it.
Well, thank you very much, guys. That is very good news. And it has been a wild night, including 6-man tag team action. We have seen Larry Chef Cameron continue to do his thing. He has really been impressive. Next week, Battle Royal action, but as Ed Whalen would say, in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of wrestling. Bye-bye now.
It could be a long night.
Yes, it could be. I should mention, I suppose, and this will keep you happy, that in the last 3 battle royals in this ring, in every instance, the winner was Mukum Singh.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Out goes the Cuban.
Jerry Morrow.
Oh, it was Morrow. Excuse me, it was not the Cuban. The Cuban is in the far corner, so it's Morrow out of there, Ferraro out of there, and the